If I was to write a book about my life, it would be Desert Flower. A desert flower just grows even where there's no water. It grows in adverse conditions. And I believe that's the story of my life, the story of a young woman who's turned tragedy into triumph. I was born to a mature couple. I'm the second youngest child in our family, and some of my siblings actually have children that are my age. So I was born and I was raised on a farm in Concession. My dad was a commercial farmer and my mom was a nurse. And because we lived on a farm, I had to go to, it was either the farm school or a boarding school. So I went to boarding school at a very, very young age. And that's contributed to why I'm so independent, I guess. And at school, my formative years, I was a very confident child. I excelled at sport. I used to play hockey and swim. I was just one of those top achievers. I came first in class. If I came second, I'd cry. And so, and I was very determined to be a lawyer. I'd watched LA Law. There was this series called LA Law, and I decided I wanted to be the next Attorney General when I was in grade 4. Right about until the time I got my A-level results and realized I couldn't study law because my points weren't sufficient. Okay, I've faced several obstacles, but I think the three that stand out are, being violated. I was raped when I was 3 or 4, I can't quite remember, but I was 3 or 4, and I was also abused by female maids. And then obviously losing my parents within a year of each other in the same month. They both died in May. And losing siblings as well. My half-sister actually died the very day that my mom died. So I couldn't even pay my last respect to my half-sister because I had to bury my mom. And I think also just being, when I fell pregnant when I was not employed, that was very difficult because I was an unwed mother and not everybody, particularly relatives, were forthcoming to assist me. But I thank God that because I had made friends for myself and I was plugged in terms of church, I had friends that became more of my family, that have become more of my family, that held my hand and provided for me during the time, and my child during the time when I was not employed. And what I've just taken from my trials is they made me work harder. They made me more focused. So everything that I've gone through, I believe that it's contributed to the sum total of the empowered woman that I am today. Now you're looking at a published author. I've co-authored 2 books, and I'm a digital marketer and strategist. I am a thought leader in the industry. I actually speak on platforms on the subject, and I also I also teach digital marketing at the Marketers Association. I am also big on women empowerment, so I speak a lot on women empowerment platforms, and my profession has benefited very much to what it's so entwined with my interests and my passions. Because initially I never set out to be in social media and digital marketing, but I ended up in it by accident, and I loved it. It contributed to my personality, and so through that, for me to get to co-author the book that I co-authored in 2015, we met on Twitter as I was doing my work on Twitter with with the publisher, and that gig opened doors for me. I started contributing I was the first Zimbabwean to contribute for the Half Metal Post through that co-authoring initiative that I did with the American lady. I'd like to do more in terms of empowering women, especially young women who have no parents, orphans. And so the next goal is to make money, because you can only make a difference if you can also assist people physically. So my goal is to make as much money as possible. And the 2 books I've co-authored are not my books. I'm looking to publishing my story, writing out my own bio. And because I want every young person out there who's going through to read my story and see that you can be who you want to be in spite of what you've been through. I want to speak to the young woman who has had a child out of wedlock and say you can still follow your dreams. You can still be an exemplary parent. I want to speak to the young man who's lost his parents, who thinks he's alone. God sets the lonely in families. You're not alone, and you can still be who you dream to be. And to the professional woman, don't be afraid to break out of the box, pursue your dreams.